Our top story today, the funeral of Sarabjit Singh will take place today at his village in Bhikhiwind near Amritsar. The last rites are likely to begin post-noon. The body reached his home at night via a special government plane, but before that, another post-mortem was conducted at an Amritsar hospital. Doctors say they will file this report soon. This even as it is unclear if Pakistan will share its own autopsy results with India. Questions are still being raised whether Sarabjit was taken off the ventilator without permission from his family. Doctors in Pakistan claim that he had a heart attack. That was when he was taken off the ventilator.
जो इंजरीज है वो नोट कर लिया और पोस्टमार्टम की कॉज ऑफ डेथ रिपोर्ट है. डेफिनेटली देयर आर इंजरीज व्हिच हैव बीन रिकॉर्डेड. थोड़ा पीछे
उस पे सिर्फ सर पे या किस बॉडी पे किस पे अंग पे निशान वगैरह
सिर पे भी है, बाकी बॉडी पार्ट्स पे भी है. पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट देखेंगे, उसका हॉस्पिटल रिकॉर्ड देखेंगे पाकिस्तान की रिपोर्ट का.
मेरा कि नहीं, हिंदुस्तान का सरबजीत हिंदुस्तान के लिए शहीद हो गया.
For Sarabjit Singh, the end was as lonely as the last 2 decades in a Pakistani prison. He died hours after his family left for Delhi after visiting him in Lahore's Jinnah hospital.
मैं उसी दिन से कह रही थी, पाकिस्तान से भी कह रही थी लगातार लाइव में, मुझे शक है कि मुझसे कुछ छुपाया जा रहा है. मैं जब उनसे पूछती थी सरबजीत का हाल, बाद में वो लोग हंसते थे. वो सच्चे हंस रहे थे. उन्हें पता था कि सरबजीत जिंदा तो है नहीं.
Doctors in Pakistan say Sarabjit, who had been in deep coma ever since he was brutally assaulted in the Kot Lakhpat jail last week, suffered a cardiac arrest around midnight and he was removed from the ventilator.
मेरी शायद बदकिस्मती रही कि मैं अपने भाई को जिंदा पाकिस्तान से ला ही नहीं सकी.
Sister Dalbir Kaur lashed out in anger at the governments and officials who failed her.
उसे आज चुनाव की खातर जरदारी ने कत्ल कर दिया. जिस बात का हमें खौफ था, अगर मैंने 2 करोड़ बरनी को दिया होता, मेरा भाई आज भारत होता.
In Delhi, the UPA moved in to console Dalbir Kaur. Congress Vice President Rahul Gandhi and Home Minister Sushil Kumar Shinde meeting with her.
Indian citizen has been murdered in cold blood in the custody of the Pakistan state.
But in Parliament and outside, the anger targeted the Indian government as much as it did Pakistan.
You may have some security options, you may have diplomatic options, but being clueless is not an option.
The BJP is calling for tough diplomatic measures against Pakistan now.
हमारा जो लेवल ऑफ डिप्लोमेटिक रिलेशन है पाकिस्तान के साथ, उसे स्केल डाउन किया जाना चाहिए.
But New Delhi remains cautious, saying its priority remains to ensure Pakistan completes a full inquiry into Sarabjit's killing and raises the security for other Indians in Pakistani prisons.
We have raised this issue of safety and security in the context of the Judicial Committee.
Sarabjit's body was flown to Amritsar in a special Air India plane ahead of his funeral on Friday after negotiations between the Indian and Pakistani governments.
The real tragedy, perhaps, that it is only in his death that Sarabjit Singh, the man convicted for spying in Pakistan, was able to achieve what his family had fought for all these years: his return to India, as well as having his case discussed at the highest bilateral levels. In New Delhi, I'm Suhasini Haider.
Well, does Pakistan really have blood on its hands, and is Sarabjit's death the latest in a series of events that have damaged Pakistan's credibility? Here's the part of that debate from India at 9.
Pakistani state has blood on its hands. Would you accept that?
The Pakistani prisoners on death row, those who attacked, tried to kill him, they might be having links outside with the military militants and extremist religious fanatics and those who do not want to see Pakistan-India relations develop.
It is a failure on the part of the jail administration primarily, that they were not able to fulfill their duties of protecting the prisoners.
Of course it's a screw up, but I feel that there's convergence between Islamabad and New Delhi, and I hope and I think cooler heads are prevailing.
So you're saying that the Indian government has also serious questions to answer?
They have very serious questions to answer. Nobody has his hands clean, including New Delhi, because after Chamal Singh, the warning should have gone very, very loud and clear that We fear this.
For the last 20 years, Sarabjit was almost persona non grata. Would you concede that to that extent, the politicians today have only shed crocodile tears?
We have to realize we are dealing with a state which has this compulsion called ISI and the army. We have to be realistic. They are not going by the rule book like we are adhering to a law. And there the ISI is a law in itself.
Well, Pakistan continuing to maintain that there was no conspiracy involved. Najam Sethi, the caretaker Chief Minister of Pakistan's Punjab province, spoke to CNN IBN's Karan Thapar in this exclusive interview.
Would you accept that Sarabjit Singh's death after a vicious and brutal attack in Kot Lakpat jail is proof of criminal negligence on the part of the jail authorities?
The jail authorities and the administration were not expecting anything like this. There was not even a hint that such a threat might be posed. We were more worried about terrorism and attacks on the jail from the outside.
So are you saying to me that this is not negligence?
At one level it obviously is. This is why we've suspended 7 officials and we have launched inquiries both at the Home Secretary level and today I have announced an inquiry at the judicial level. So yes, we will hold people responsible because it is an act of negligence.
In India, the widespread belief is that this was in fact a planned murder. It was a conspiracy.
I don't think it's the case. Everything that I've read on the subject from internal sources suggests that this was an act by 2 prisoners on death row, and if you know the mental state of health of prisoners on death row and their interactions with Sarabjit during their time that they were together, I don't think there's an iota of truth in this suspicion.
Hafiz Saeed led processions publicly calling for the execution of Sarabjit Singh in response and in revenge for the hanging of Afzal Guru. And secondly, at that time, Sarabjit Singh himself received death threats from inmates of Kot Lakpat jail.
Well, I have not seen any evidence of this sort.
But his lawyer has presented a letter that Sarabjit has written to his family where he talks about the death threats he's received. Your intelligence wasn't aware of any of this?
No, I mean, I have just come in. I have not seen the earlier files. What I can say for sure is that there was negligence. I am not aware of any conspiracy.